Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Fix Your Crown Sis. This is your girl, Jaleisha, Coach Jaleisha J. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. If you don't know me, I am a certified self-love coach as well as a published author, public speaker, and I'm currently in school right now as a mental health counseling student. I'm getting my master's, okay? I just recently graduated and got my psychology degree, so I'm about to be a therapist, y'all. But anyway, please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please make sure you hit the notification bell so you are aware when I post new videos. Let's jump right into it. I want to talk about the truth about forgiveness. I want to give you guys 4 ways that have helped me in healing and moving on and growing within my journey. And the reason I want to talk about forgiveness is because a lot of times we hold on to things that we don't even realize. We hold on to it, memories, past pain, past trauma, past disappointments. We just hold on to a lot of things, and it comes up in our relationships and our experiences and just everyday life, and we don't know or we don't recognize it, and we have resentment, we have anger, we just have a lot of different stuff going on, like baggage. And a lot of times we think that it makes us powerful to be the strong person that doesn't feel, that isn't hurting, that isn't, not allowing themselves to be honest with themselves. But really it makes us almost kind of weak in a way. It makes us very much in a wounded space because we're not allowing ourselves to express all that we need to, so that we can learn from that experience, we can conquer that lesson that it was. Because anytime we get a disappointment, someone hurts us, that's a lesson in itself, and that's something that we need to master within ourselves so that we don't have to keep going through those lessons over and over with different people and different experiences. So I want to talk about my experience just really quickly. This past year I went through a little bit of a heartbreak. A little bit of a heartbreak at the beginning of last year, and it was a situation I was really ashamed about because I had been doing the hard work on myself. If you don't know my journey or my story, I have been pretty much doing really deep inner awareness work for the last 3.5 years. That's how I became a self-love coach. Before that, I had a mental breakdown, emotional breakdown in 2016, 2017. I gained like 40-50 pounds. I was suicidal. I was also battling body dysmorphia. I had a lot of different things going on. I had self-love issues, self-esteem issues, deep daddy wounds, which I still work through, and we'll talk about that on another video. I also have mama issues, and I have just a lot of different things going on. My childhood was not a great childhood. I was bullied, I was teased, I was made fun of. I did not have a safe space for my emotions and my feelings, and so I did never really address that. I detached from it, and I always felt I had to be on survival mode. So I've had a lot of different layers of different things, and I'm not even going into the length of it because we're on a time schedule. But I have been doing the work on myself for a few years, and I came to the conclusion of what I desired in a partnership, what I desire in a mate, what I wanted in a relationship. I thought I came to that conclusion. I thought I knew what my boundaries were, and then the universe kind of sent me something to test me, and that situation tested me to the point where I questioned everything about myself because I didn't honor the things that I said I wanted. All that work I have been doing on myself, I had not implemented that. Like, I knew right from wrong, but I still was trying to hold on to this connection, or thinking it was going to be rosy, or thinking it was going to work itself out. And that's still that trauma from childhood. That's still that daddy wound. That's still that little girl that thinks, she can wait it out, that she can see that things are going to get better. She can help them. She can assist them. And when it blew up and it didn't work out, I was hurt. But instead of facing it, I was in denial about it. I started charging up my credit cards. I started just spending money recklessly, and I was spending it all on food, really. I ate. I gained like 20 pounds last year because I just didn't want to feel. And a lot of times what happens when we go through destructive or things that hurt us and break us, we lash out in other ways. We are shopaholics, we eat a lot, We want to have sex a lot. We have sex addictions. We have drug addictions, substance abuse addictions, alcoholic addictions. We choose to suppress our feelings and unleash it somewhere else, which can be detrimental to ourselves and to other people if it becomes an addiction or a habit. So y'all, I was hurting. So towards the end of last year, I came into the resolution or the conclusion that something had to give. Something wasn't right. And that I needed to wake up, because I was now, you know, I depleted my savings, and I'm like, what the hell done happened? And I got to start from scratch. And I'm like, what happened? So I went through some shadow work, some deep intensive work, and I came through 4 things that kind of have been helping me, and I'm in a different space now. And that's why I want to just advise you guys of what has worked for me. So the first thing I would have to say is, you need to grieve. And grieving looks like you just need to acknowledge, you really truly need to acknowledge that you are hurting, that you are in pain, that, you know, this happened, this situation happened, and you need to allow yourself to feel what that is. Instead of looking for outside things to fulfill that hole or fulfill that void or fulfill that pain, it's really just addressing what it is and being aware of it. When we face our feelings, when we face those emotions, instead of trying to suppress it, we can acknowledge, we can give it space and let it rest, and we can let it pass. We can let it pass. Now, does it pass overnight? No. Does it pass next week? I don't know. Maybe. It depends how you grieve. But you have to at least give space for it. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be disappointed in yourself. It is okay to, you know, wish that you had did something differently. Or it's okay just to grieve that experience, that relationship that was lost, that job that was lost, you know, whatever it is that you have lost, you know, that you have pain for. It's okay to grieve that. So the next thing I would say is to assess. So once you've done the grieving, once you've like noticed that, you know, I'm in pain, I've had pain issues about it, I would say you need to assess. And it's not about them. A lot of times when we get caught up and we talk about the other person, what this person did to me, how they hurt me, how they did all these things, that's victim mentality. And when we're in victim mentality, we're in a low vibrational state. So we are not thinking of anything of our own accountability, our own role in whatever experience that we're having. We're just placing all the blame on someone else. And while that sounds great and it makes us feel better, it doesn't change anything, because you'll have another experience with someone else, or you have another experience with another person, and you will continue to have the victim mentality. So you're not learning anything about yourself. You're not healing. You're just placing blame elsewhere. And it's just like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole wound. Like a bullet hole. That doesn't do anything. It just covers it, but it's still bleeding and you might die. So you you need to be real with yourself. So yes, it really is. You need to assess the situation. So it's really, okay, what was my part in it? What happened? How did that happen? You know, why did this happen to me? Like when I was hurt by the situation I was in last year, I actually had to sit with myself and say, why am I hurting? Why have I been denying this hurt? What am I afraid to admit about this? What am I afraid to admit about that experience? And I sat with myself. I meditated. I actually sat with myself and asked myself, what am I refusing to see about this situation? Like I sat with myself, like in quiet, just asking myself that question. And the answer came back to me. You're ashamed. You're afraid to admit that you're ashamed. And I was ashamed. It was the truth. I was ashamed. So that allowed me to assess it. I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed that I dishonored my truth, my value. I was ashamed that I couldn't be the person I thought I had been working on so hard to be. And I was ashamed. I thought for my mind, I thought I had to be a certain way, but I also know we're all human. So things happen. You get disappointed. Life happens. But I held that shame really, really tightly. So I was ashamed. And so what I would say to you guys, you have to ask yourself that question. Like, what am I afraid to face about that situation? Why am I still holding on to this? What about that situation am I refusing to see for myself what it is? And it's not about them. It's completely about us. It's completely about us. So then once you assess and you ask yourself those questions, you need to have accountability. So you got to take accountability. So when you get your answer of why whatever happened, it happened, then it's now we've got to take accountability for self, right? So we have to be able to say, okay, so I was hurt from this situation. This person did betray me. But accountability is I allow myself to stay in that situation and allow them to have access to me even though I saw the red flags. Or I allow myself to dishonor the things that I said I wanted because I hope that they would want the same things too without speaking my truth. I quieted my voice so that I can make sure that they would stay around. I wanted them to still like me. I denied what I really wanted. I denied what I really valued. I denied my happiness to make them happy. That's taking accountability. When we start being real, it's not about them. It's all about us because they can do things to us. But what is our role in it? And it's not saying every person is deserving of pain and we're deserving of getting our feelings hurt and we're deserving of being disappointed. No. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that we can point the finger at them all day long. But that does not heal us. That does not turn the leaf over. What turns the leaf over in our life is us taking accountability and responsibility for our healing, for ourselves, our well-being, and deciding that we want to do something different so we don't have to go through those experiences again. So that's taking accountability. So I would implore you guys to take accountability. Ask yourself, what did I do? What was my role in this? What was my part in it? And sit with yourself about it. You may end up crying about it. We may end up crying. Even for me, I had to sit. What was my role in this? I didn't hold true to my boundaries. What I said I wanted, what I knew I was worthy of, what I knew I desired, I didn't hold true to myself. And if I don't hold true to myself, then that allows other people to do whatever they want with me and to me. At the end of the day, if I uphold my boundaries, that means I'm demanding my respect. And you can either be a willing participant in it or you cannot. Okay, so now the last thing is honoring yourself, or I like to say taking a vow to self. And that means just how are you going to move forward in the next step? Now that you have grieved, you have assessed, you have taken accountability, what is that vow that you're going to do with your forgiveness? We're choosing to move forward. For me, it was getting in my journal, sitting with myself, and making a vow to myself that I am the most important person. My desires, what I want, what I care for, what I need in my life is the most important thing. Anybody that comes into my life that chooses to want to share or experience me has to respect and uphold my boundaries. And if they can't do that, then they're not worthy to be in my space, to be in my energy, to be in my aura. And it's that simple. And that's a vow that I'm not making for anyone else, but I'm making with myself. And that when I uphold that boundary, I uphold that value, I uphold that sense of worth for self, I protect myself from anything else kind of coming back again, that experience, because I'm forgiving myself for the shame. I'm forgiving myself for what happened. I'm taking accountability for that, but then I'm also upholding, moving forward how I'm going to move. I'm going to uphold my boundaries. I'm going to respect myself. I'm going to honor myself. And so I would just implore you guys to ask yourself, how will you uphold whatever vow that you have for yourself so that when you move forward, you're not always thinking about the past experience. Oh my God, they hurt me. Oh my God, I don't want to go through it again. Oh God, forgive yourself for it. Shed a tear, scream, cry. Take accountability for it. Know what your role was in it. Now, how are you going to move forward? How are you going to open yourself up so you don't close yourself off to new experiences? You identify what the issue was, what your role in it, and then you start to hold yourself accountable so you don't go through those same experiences again. So I told you all that, guys. I hope it was helpful. The thing about forgiveness is that when we don't forgive, we give power to other people. We give power to our past experiences. We give power to the people who have hurt us. And it keeps us in bondage. It keeps us in prison. But when we forgive, not just them, but when we really forgive ourselves for those experiences, we are reclaiming our power. We are reclaiming what we desire for ourselves. We are reclaiming everything about us. We're calling that back to us. We're calling our energy back to us. We're remembering who we are. And we're saying we deserve more. I want more from this experience, guys. So don't hold the shame. We all go through different things. We all have different disappointments and pains. But the other side of the pain is the forgiveness, is the freedom, is the liberation, is the peace. And that's why I wish for every single one of you that needs that today, is peace. You are worthy, you are everything, you're amazing, and I hope that you know it. Please tell me what you guys do for your own forgiveness tools or your skills or whatever that you have that has worked for you in the comments below. And I will see you guys soon.